Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a detailed review on this Hamilton Beach 12 cup programmable coffee maker. It's a model number 49615. So this coffee maker, it looks pretty nice. The display is not backlit, that's the only thing, but it's easy to see. So if you want to just brew a cup of coffee, you're going to come up here. This is the on-off button. When that red light's on, it means it's brewing, and you can turn it off. It does have a program. You set the time here. It's got brew options. It's got regular, 1 to 4 cups. That's if you're doing a small quantity of coffee. And bold. Bold means it's just going to brew a little bit longer. And then regular. So overall, this coffee maker looks pretty nice. Let's look at the coffee pot's pretty nice. It's got a hinged lid. It just pops off. Yeah. That looks really nice. This has got a this is a warming plate, so it is going to keep your coffee warm. And once you brew your coffee, it'll keep the warming plate on for 2 hours. It has an automatic feature. So if you forget to turn your coffee maker off after 2 hours, it'll turn the warming plate off. But up here's where you put the coffee. There's where you put the water. I do like it has a nice window for the reservoir. Shows you how much water is in there. This is the brew head's real nice. If you forget to put the brew head over where the coffee goes, when you close the lid, it moves the brew head for you, so that's nice. It does have a basket, so you can take the basket out with your coffee filter in it and everything. It's got that plunger on the bottom, so you can do pause brewing. So when you take the pot of coffee out, it'll stop. We're going to show you that. There is nice big cord storage, and the cord's about standard length for a 2-prong. And on the back here, if you overfill your water reservoir, it will leak out the back, so be careful. So front to back, about 11 inches. About 7 inches wide. So this is kind of a tall coffee maker. With the lid open, you're looking at about almost 21 inches. So that's not going to fit under a standard cabinet. So over here, standard kitchen cabinet's about 19 inches from the countertop. So just to the top is only about 12 and a half, 13. You do have to be able to open that lid because you're going to have to get here and put your coffee, and you're going to have to dump your water back here in the back. So they do make coffee makers with front access. They have like things you pull out to put the water in and everything, but not. This one has a pretty small footprint overall. Looks really nice. I'm going to go over the controls with you. Again, the display is not backlit. This is the on-off switch. It doesn't say on-off, but you press it, that starts the brew process. Press it again, it stops it. Okay, so these things, when you lose power, they lose their time right away. So here's how you set the time. There's an hour and a minute button. But unfortunately, if you accidentally hit these, it's going to change the time. So we need to change the time. It is 2. It does have an AM and a PM. So that's nice. Let you know exactly what it is. It is 2:45 p.m. It has 3 brew options again. Regular, 1 to 4 cups, and bold. Bold just brews it a little bit longer. About, on average, 2 to 4 minutes longer. Then you got this program button. Now, to set your program to come on in the morning, you're going to press and hold this button, and then it's going to start flashing the time. That's when you change it to what you want. So I want this to start at 5:15 a.m. in the morning. Give yourself about 15 minutes. I let up on the button. I got to do one more step. I got to press that button real quick. It turns that green light on, and the auto is displayed on there. Now I know my coffee maker is going to start in the morning. Make sure you got your water and coffee in there, and this thing will be good to go. If I want to cancel it, I'm just going to press it again. The auto goes off and the light goes off. So again, if you want to set the program, you're just going to hold the button, set the time, and then press it one more time to get the green light to come on. Okay, so this coffee maker takes basket style coffee. 8 to 12 cup basket coffee filters. Now you can use, they do sell reusable ones, and it does fit in here. This is your brew basket. So if I bought a reusable one, it would fit in there. But we're going to put a paper filter in here. So the coffee maker does not come with filters, so you may have to buy some filters. So you're going to put the filter in here like this. You're going to make sure it kind of hugs the walls. Okay? There. Now we're going to put our coffee grounds in there. Okay, so I've read the manual. It says 1 tablespoon of coffee grounds per cup that you're going to brew. So I'm going to brew 12 cups, but say, and I'm going to fill this up to the 12 cup mark with water. Then I'm going to dump it in the back here. But say you want it, and then I'm going to put 12 tablespoons of coffee in there. But say you want to do just 8, then I would just put 8 tablespoons of coffee here and just fill this up to the 8 mark with water. So let's put 12 tablespoons in. Just put it right there in the middle. 1, 2. Okay, so I've got 12 tablespoons of coffee in my filter in. Now I'm going to get the water ready. Do you ever wonder why coffee pots have this hinged lid? I think it's so you can fill it up with water easier. Otherwise, if this was kind of snaps on, you have to kind of fill it up there. Okay, so I've got my coffee pot filled up to the 12 mark. We're going to pour the water back here. Now that little hole there, this does have an optional accessory. You can put a water filter. There's a charcoal water filter on a stick that you can put down in there, but it does not come with the coffee maker. So let's pour our water in. The pot pours really nice. Okay, now we're going to put our pot down there. We're going to close the lid. I've got it up to the 12 mark. That's a really nice sight glass. And we're just going to come down here and simply hit this button. The red light's on. I'm doing a regular strength, and it's going to start the brew process. This is your standard percolator coffee maker. It's going to heat the water up and send it over the coffee grounds through the brew head. So I'm going to time it, and at the end we'll do some temperature checks. Okay, so it's been about 9 minutes, and we're at the 9 cup mark. This is about standard 1 cup every minute. Let's take a look how the coffee filters are doing. Oh yeah, so the coffee grounds are doing really well. It's not overflowing the basket. That's a really good sign. And our water is going down in the back. Then I want to show you the pause. Now I want to show you the pause brewing. So there's the coffee's coming down. When I take my coffee pot out, there's a plunger that comes down and stops the coffee from coming out. Now you might get a drip or two. Then you can do a quick pour, and then you can put the coffee pot back, and it'll continue the brewing. Okay, so that took about 11 minutes for a full pot of coffee, 11, 12 minutes. Now, it doesn't beep at you or anything to let you know that it's done. Some coffee makers do beep at you. Again, the warming plate's going to keep this pot hot. If you were done, you could turn it off, but this will turn off after 2 hours automatically. So let's look, see how the coffee grounds did. You know, this did really well. That was a lot. That was 12 tablespoons of coffee grounds, and it did really well. So let's get it out and let's see how it pours. Yeah, I like this coffee pot. It pours really well. It feels really nice. Let's check temperature. About 160, yeah. It could be just a tad bit hotter. Sometimes they're around 165. But that's still a pretty good, pretty hot cup of coffee. It tastes really good. There's nothing wrong. These Hamilton Beaches brew a pretty good cup of coffee. And this is a really nice coffee maker. It's very simple. It's got just the basic stuff you need and really nothing more. Okay, so now let's talk cleanup. You're going to want to be careful. The filter basket can be kind of hot, but it does have this little ear. You're going to move the brew head out of the way. Now I can take this over to the trash can or my recycling if I'm going to be recycling the coffee grounds. And it's not going to drip on me. That plunger is going to keep it from dripping. So that's really nice. Okay, so cleanup is real simple. I've got the lid off of the coffee pot. It just pops off right there. And you can put all 3 of these, this is the filter basket, in the dishwasher on the top rack. You know, this has got a nice big opening. You can get your hand in and scrub if you had to. So that's cleanup. So the filter basket goes in. So it's got this big notch. And there's a spot for it right there. You're going to want to make sure you get it in right like that. And then that's got like a little opening there for that. So that's how you know you've got the filter basket in right. So if I'd have selected the bold setting for that brew, I've done a bold setting on this before. It takes about 5 extra minutes. And it kind of just pauses brewing. So it'll brew for a little bit, pause, brew for a little bit, pause. It just takes longer to brew. They say they can extract more flavor out of the coffee by brewing it a little bit longer. So I've had a lot of reviewers ask if I want to do a smaller pot of coffee. Today I'm going to do a small pot of coffee. So we're going to switch this over to 1 to 4 cups. I'm going to do 4 cups of coffee. So I'm going to fill this up to the 4 mark, and we're going to put a filter in and coffee in. Okay, so I've got my filter back in. I'm going to do 4 tablespoons. That's all I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my coffee's in. I've got my my water. It's filled up to the 4 mark. So now I'm going to dump the water in the back. Make sure you move the brew. It's easier to pour the water if you move the brew head out of the way. So we're going to pour in just 4 cups. This coffee maker brews whatever amount of water you put back here. That's how much it brews. So we're going to put this back. We're right at the 4 cup mark. We're going to close the lid. I've got the 1 to 4 cups selected, and I'm just going to hit the start button. And we're going to see how it brews the 1 to 4 cup. So when it's on this 1 to 4 cup setting, it kind of brews and pauses. And it's it kind of pauses a little bit, and then it's brewing again. So I've never really done the 1 to 4 cup, and I was wanting to do it. And that's what it's doing. It's kind of like a bold setting, but for the small cup size. See there, it's kind of stopped. And then it kind of starts back up again. So when you're doing the 1 to 4 brew, it takes a little bit longer. I was expecting it to take about 4 minutes, but it's taking a little bit longer. We're up to 6 minutes already, and we're not quite to the 4 mark. So there's what it's doing to the coffee grounds. Okay, so that takes about 7 minutes. You don't get quite the amount of the water that you put in. You lose a little bit to steam. So if you really needed 4, you might fill it up just a little bit more than that when you add the water. But there's the coffee grounds. It does a really good job. It brewed all the water in the back. And let's check a temperature. So that's just about enough for a coffee mug. Yeah, so about the same. Maybe just a tad bit cooler. So that's going to finish up this detailed review on this coffee maker. If you've got any questions about this coffee maker, I check my comments daily. Leave a question in the comments and I'll be glad to answer it. I really like this coffee maker. It's just simple. A lot of times that's what we need. I like the simplicity of the brew basket, where you put the water. The controls are relatively easy to figure out. The on-off, I wish it was labeled, but at least you kind of know, at least it has a light. The coffee pot pours really nice. So this is just a basic coffee maker that's really nice. Hamilton Beach's, I've not had the best of luck with them in the past. Their coffee makers can be a little cheaper. You know, and this one is a lot of plasticky, but this one does seem like it's made pretty well. So if you could, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.